Ah, boy. I know I went more water.
Because I'm a pay Juma, but my neighbor, Besha and Changa cry, and yes, I'm a coffee and I'm on me whom ya. Na bembe bukra.
Ah, boy. A befa.
That bang.
The year John Dramani Mahama ba, a befa. Year John Dramani Mahama, the insisted by a friend of 24-hour economy ever. A dumb 24-hour economy, ever my Ejumeku Piara incentives, it being there. Cheaper electricity. Na afe or the sika basso in Jumaku ase, and na afe so tax breaks. Ah, ebe show munkraya, a Jumaku Biara, baye a Juma and pen a basado. Na afe so, yen mine a Juma a bebusum, na yen mebunusu enya a Juma aye. Some on a tofa, a Juma Crubiano, a bayan and penny basado, the Bafanco fe basa wide a major mano, and a friend of Formula 133, na a Jumano, oh, pia baby. Na afi so obama yejuman etumpan yetum ye din nyama efiye kum ha akwamuna ne akoton eno so beboa ma yetika sam ne yi
Ah, boy, now going.
Because you send me voters ID card.
So was it na to abapa this akraya papa beba wa brabom to abama John Mahama ne NDC.
Now, Minority Leader in Parliament, Alexander Afenyomarkin, has today launched an attack and made unfounded claims against the Joy brand. Now, senior news editor and head of our political desk, Evans Mensa, joins me in studio. Now, I know you're not a very happy man this afternoon.
Of course, I can be. When you have the minority leader, Alexander Afenyomarkin, make confounded accusations against the media organization that I represent, obviously, you cannot be happy. But the point about his issue, and it started yesterday, fundamentally says that we should not describe him as the minority leader. Let's be clear. Alexander Afenyomarkin is the minority leader as we speak. The MPP is the minority party in Parliament as of today. The NDC is the majority party in Parliament as of today. Case Letter Forcing is the majority leader as we speak today. And that is very clear on the face of what had been decided by the Speaker yesterday. That's what it is. And Alexander Afenyomarkin is wrong in questioning our reporting of the facts as we all saw play out in the full glare of this country on national television as did by the Speaker of Parliament. We can only report that. There is a contest over whether it was constitutional or not. That contest will be decided by the Supreme Court. That is not our domain as journalists. We will have to report what has happened in Parliament. Parliament is the master of his own rules. When the Speaker did it in 2020, it was a law in Parliament. Speaker has done it today, it's a law in Parliament, and we can only report that fact. And so, to repeat the point, Alexander Afenyomarkin is wrong to question our report and to accuse us of being mischievous. We're not mischievous.
Are we taking any
when he was in Parliament then, as one of the leaders in 2020, and this happened, he was happy with that decision at the time. Now, of course, things is flipped because you have a hung Parliament, and it has implications for your ability to hold on to your majority position. And of course, I understand. It takes us personally because, of course, you are the leader at the time when this has been taken. So you understand why he is unhappy about the outcome. But what he cannot do is to tell a journalist not to report the fact. He's not entitled to do that. And nobody, even when you are aggrieved at an outcome of a decision of an authority such as the Parliament, remember that the Speaker was delivering that ruling, but he was doing it as the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. When an authority like that has delivered a verdict, to tell a journalist not to report that verdict and its implications is just wrong, and we won't do that because, as we say, we are bold, we are fearless, we are credible, but above all else, we can be all this, but if we fail to be accurate and factual and balanced, then we stop being journalists.
Honorable members, as you may recall, on Thursday, I informed the House, pursuant to Standing Order 18 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, on the occurrence of vacancies in the House in relation to 4 honorable members. Yesterday, I received a process from the Supreme Court, which is a ruling from the Supreme Court pursuant to an ex parte application directing Parliament to recognize and allow the 4 affected members of Parliament to duly represent their constituents and conduct full scope of duties of their offices as members of Parliament pending the final determination of a suit filed by Honorable Alexander Afenyo Maase. By Article 102 of the Constitution, 1992, and Order 64.1 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, I note that we currently have a quorum to transact business, but not to take decisions. I want to read the said Article 102 of the Constitution. It reads, a quorum of Parliament, apart from the person presiding, shall be 1/3 of all the members of Parliament. As presently constituted, the numbers definitely is far above 1/3 of the members of Parliament. But by Article 104, the numbers are not sufficient for us to take decisions. And I'll quote Article 104. Article 104.1 says, except as otherwise provided in this Constitution, matters in Parliament shall be determined by the votes of the majority of members present and voting, with at least half of all the members of Parliament present. Honorable members, we don't have at least half of all the members of Parliament present. Consequently, in view of the current circumstances, the fact that there is a question on the composition and constitution of Parliament, and having regard to the public interest and the exigencies of the state of affairs in Parliament, I will proceed to, in accordance with Standing Orders 59, adjourn the House indefinitely. That is sine die. I want to quote Standing Orders 59.1. It says, the Speaker may, in consultation with leadership, suspend a meeting of the House indefinitely or for a period determined by the Speaker, having regard to the public interest and the exigencies of the state of affairs in the country. Honorable members, I have consulted leadership, and I am exercising my discretion to decide to suspend the meeting of the House indefinitely. The House is accordingly adjourned sine die.
You must must go to court to have the order set aside. In the case of Mr. Speaker, all right, I am reliably informed that his lawyers are currently trying to file processes to set aside the order of the Supreme Court. In that case, the status quo ante, in our view, should stay.
Okay, so the Speaker has communicated to you that...
No. There has been no official communication from Mr. Speaker's lawyers. But we, the majority caucus, the NDC majority caucus, have information to that effect. Of the Supreme Court, that order is a nullity. It has no constitutional basis because first, Mr. Speaker's ruling is not a quasi-judicial order, neither is it a judgment of a court of competent jurisdiction to be set aside, to be stayed. You cannot stay, the ruling of, the Speaker of Parliament, which is merely a statement that guides Parliament in the conduct of its business. You cannot stay it.
That the Supreme Court got it wrong.
The Supreme Court got it wrong, totally wrong. So the ruling of the Supreme Court has no legs to stand on. That's what I mean by a void order.
Right, nonai abapa ho sema dunsia ewo power 97.9 ene TVXYZ kasa mfoni so. Yamamu nyina adwo enwume Simon akwa babio. We inside politics dwumadie ofaye tosumienu ena yede ebamu ene eye October ahini mebosime ne da etoso aduonu miensa emfempemienu ene aduonu nan eda wukria da ena moti yenkan na dwumadie enam Facebook Power 979 ena TVXYZ esanso na station safodo a womo ene yedi kaso bomu nyina so womo efa dwumadie yi ebi eti eya na wakyerɛ wo nyɔnko sɛ inside politics dwumadie no ete sɛ aba wakwan mu eti wɔnye mmerɛ na wɔntie bi yɛwɔ information centers ahodoɔ sɛde wɔn nso asom ato apete no ɛyɛ a yɛni so paa ne adwuma a moyɛ yɛda mo nyina ase woteme nka efi etifi mantam mu apoe mantam ankasa medie mu kwauman mu a mekyia mu nyinaa ɛsanse na mo a mo wɔ mfifi mantam mu Ghana fa na nyina ɛnkran ha nyina baabia from mantam mu ɔnwabo Kofi Adams papa bi na bato mpesua so buem ɛsɛ de ɔmo abie mu wɔ hɔ goyi no ɛnya asɛm ketewa mo yɛ ma ne yɛ fɛ dodo ɔnwabo Joyce Ntete ye North Daimra Shebedwani ne mpesua sofoɔ wɔn nyinaa etie dwumadie yɛda mo asɛm na Kevin Asante ɛna afe Okechukwu Innocent Mawuli Nicholas Yosen wɔn ɛna ɛbɔ me chi dɔm a mede dwumadie yɛ ba camera ne nso de na kyerɛ Francis ɛna Kofi the boy wɔn time akyi wɔ ha Ralph ɛne Peter nso deɛ wɔkasa paa wɔtɛn parrot wɔn tɛkyerɛ ne Alex mu nyinaa Elizabeth Tego asiesie me ama me ho ayɛ fɛ nwumere yɛ mo nsɛmma no mmohima baako pɛ kɔman nyinaa gudie ladies dem boss bepɔ sema ɛna magye medwa mahyɛ Mugabe Maase atankuri gabiga ne mpabo akɛseɛ enwumere yo yɛba bedi nkɔmɔ ensɛm ne dɔɔso na ye focus ɛwɔ asɛm baako pɛ so sasa yɛse bɔfoɔ ne deɛ ne nam ɛho apa so eti ɛno ho asɛm ne yɛba bɛka mmarahyɛ badwa no ɛkonkɔn hɔ anaasɛ gyina hɔ anaasɛ ayɛ deɛ bɛn no sasa ɛnra wɔn ɛkɔ mmarahyɛ badwa mu a na yɛhwɛ ne mu kwan sɛ wɔn bɛdi dwuma no mmarahyɛ badwa mu akyia mehene ɛyɛ mmom deɛ ewiase paa sɛ nyame dum nyansa na kyerɛ sɛ wakyɛ wadeɛ nyinaa right honorable Aban Sumana Bagben wɔbɔ adwuma nra ewiase nyinaa ɛbɔ nsɛm ma no sɛ agyinaeɛ no a wɔsiiɛ no wise man bia sɛ agyinaeɛ no na wɔbɛsie na yɛde bɛtoto the biblical King Solomon ho ai ɔse akora no yɛ media wɔn nso so yɛ media ɔse ɛne yɛntwa kwala animu na obi anfa half baako sɛ o da bi akora yɛtwa ne mu obewu baako sɛ montwa ne mu ɛpɛ na ɔse ne ɔse yɛtwa ne mu obewu na yɛ ne baagye wo ba ne fa ne kɔfie sɛ bi pɛpɛpɛ na mmarahyɛ badwama kyia mehene ɛnra wɔyɛyɛ ɛse sɛdeɛ na enchinwahyew no ayɛ kɛseɛ why na yɛ majority why na yɛ minority ɛna meka sɛ sɛsi a minority status no sɛdeɛ NDC mmarahyɛbadwafoɔ ne NPP mmarahyɛbadwafoɔ ɛpa kyerɛ yɛn no akɔyɛ like a deadly disease obi ampɛ sɛ ɛbɛkye noɔ eti wɔsi memfrɛ me minority wɔsi memfrɛ me minority na tension wɔ soro sɛ NPP fo nso dimrika court ama court asi agyinaye eti speaker wonya dienie ene metum rahebedwa setena no ahyeda eda ye beba minim eye indefinitely esinidi ene se de beba ba na kyese yasan si agyinaye fofra na se ya date fofra ye besan aba parliament eti eno na ebieka se enyuma bebre wo asese mmrahebedwa no wo mudio won se no nti ne ye kasa asem we nso no ne ekoye ye ma ye de ye ne se kama se court no nso ewo interest wo mu san se wo mo ewo wo mo enkrofo mienu wo ho asese mmrahebedwa no gi wo mo tum entane ye nya ne ntam na yenko sanso ena abayi won se na no illegal mining asem galamsey ana ye kan adwumafo nyina sɔre ye na cha se di no mu di ye hwamo utag for the edamase nyame nhira mo ese ye ti atua na abaya ye the right thing ye boye bobre ho ban ako atia galamsey na dwumafuo ku ahodoɔ bi ɛkɔ hyɛ baabi ewiase ɔmo se yɛ de yɛte atua nye ye Ghana Medical Association edi kan ɛna nursefoɔ de ɔmo de ɛbɛta eto afa de obi ase yɛ de yɛate ada utax yɛbɛkɔ saa LI 2462 yɛ ɛho hia sɛ enka yɛyi free ɛhɔ bɔne bɔngalate to baabi na kwayɛ na yɛyɛ galamsey wɔ mu no yɛtu man ne ɛwɔ mu no yɛbra sie no anasɛ yɛbra no saa ɛno nso da ho my pani akufuado wote sɛ labor wɔn ani abre ɛsɛ wɔn bɛte atua wo sɛ wɔn ahyɛ bedwa no wɔn ba ne sa wɔn ba yɛde ɛbɛkɔ akɔto wɔn ma wɔn ayɛ ho adwuma na yɛ forest reserves na yɛyɛ mine wɔ mu no yɛgyae no ɛbɛsi na ɛkonkɔn ho saa decision ya mode patapasam MPP fo ada na mo yɛ patapasa no mo pe obi ayɛ mo leader wo sa afanya making of course afanya yɛ nimu no na yɛ nimu so yɛ gentleman ate so yɛ level headed person but munya de majority leader man no brana na mo yɛ majority no mode man no abrantie ne niema wo yesisi ano etase wodwene ho a wonte ase ase waye emotionally unstable bisa no ena Nigeria ye bia wo besi prekese basa bi na wasesa ne to bebregu trosam na watwe pimprince adonyame na onam parliament wo ye patapasem wo ho mo na mo wa adwuma ye o mo ena sese mo make sure say mo di aban business anim na di simrahwe dafo ata ekira mayaye na se ye ka asem na mo de patapa asem ebewura mu emie nka asem no gidigidi a wo prepare adan na to wo behu na wo da ya na wo nan wo wiem esa bia na nei afanyoma ke wo yin eti dodo na ekasa mrahwe bedwuma chiamehene wo si ejina ya sana na yehwehwe enimu kwan se nyansani bia ebesi sa ejina ye na no na na ye te se MPP for se afenyo no na ma na okasa chakataka kasa bema okasa sakra de enwama na ai mekwa kotrega recall of parliament na de no omanya ye na krata bi eba monte so na to se eye dom kuma ebo mrahwe bedwom no womo second deputy chief whip dom kuma ye wo mrahwe bedwafie no wono ena to se memo kra ena wo matwe ena ye de ato screen so a wo hwebie ena watwe e de akwa speaker ese nadama womo entu anamo se de emra no ekire no yen trigger na nimu ya na yen femra sebedwa no emra bio na womo emra emeye adwuma eti wen eye ovura yi a nedin no na me hwehwen ese wojina mrahwebedwa no emra ya womo ede ye adwuma so eti wo sha was respectfully on behalf of myself and the requisite number of members of parliament from the majority caucus or not still or refer to almost so majority. I have the honor to address you on a matter of utmost national importance in accordance with Article 1123 of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana 1992 and Standing Order 53 of the Parliament of Ghana. We hereby formally request a meeting of Parliament. The signatories of members making this request are hereto attached. No, not as a water Ghana nunti. One more do sa asha sa enkrata when you na asieno. Kahubi ena wode akoma mrashebedwom atiame ne say one hweso na woni dwuma no ena osi to ensure clarity and emphasize the legal foundation of this request. We respectfully draw your attention to the following provisions presented in order of constitutional and procedural hierarchy. 18 Article 1123 Wachemo Standing Order 53 and also also it retraces despite any other provision. 15% of the members of parliament may request a meeting of parliament, and the speaker shall, within 7 days after the receipt of the request, summon parliament. Eti wagina sa embransam wenyina so ena watch mrashebedwomachia mahina se nadama one sign enton sta enfre mrashebedwa ne bio na womomra emetoa womo edwumadie eso se yedi nkan akyerɛ mo enwuma bebra ɛwɔ hɔ a ɛsɛsɛ mrashebedwa no womo eye na womo ehwɛ edi ɛho dwuma. Eti minority Deputy Minority Chief Whip Owekwa second Alex Tete Jonubua wano na nensa ehwe krate yasia wode komra shebedo na wie na ye wo hwa womo ehye ase ye wo mo nioma no ena MPP amayokuo no won say nipa wo mama politics aye fo ewo Ghana ha eye MPP wo youth organizer no Salam Mustafa kasa chakachaka branches menya dental crack ke say kasa won sekrachini ena won kanya nsasem da wono ena Richard Ahiagba wono ena ye MPP omo pani a wo hwe omo nkitawodie ho nsem so emrantie mienu wo hu say wo mo pese wo mo kasa either say wo bekwa akoda ana say wo besi waso sanse wonimu say ne ode ba no eye bomb a sabinyansa bi anim. Eti ewie Richard Ahiagba afrensem twofo nhyiemu ena o se ane speaker ka say wa suspend house na say mpo wa agene mrashebedwa no indefinitely no NDC for said the woman ni age nyasem keto NDC mrashebedwa for na NDC mrashebedwa for mo form majority caucus ewo parliament se me no mo kase Richard Ahiagba say womo botaye nyina ne say womo beya ma ban we afeli na womo ani abokrata bi so a eye NDC e na atresa kata na ni nyina ye womo hwehwe womo de egu akwan mu say aban wo be feli. Look at that. Yentie Richard Ahiagba.
The secret document links, as I just narrated to you, the secret document links the NDC's path to victory directly to the avoidable sufferings of Ghanaians. That is why the NDC since 2021 has done everything to frustrate government business instead of canvassing alternative policy paths to help alleviate the challenges we faced as a country. This is the NDC. Ladies and gentlemen, the party that wants your vote. The party that employs unbridled political interests and has by that means corrupted its respect for patriotism, fair play, and collective pursuit. The NDC by this does not respect patriotism because it sees its interests to be superior to what is in the interest of Ghana. It doesn't respect what is fair play because it feels that every means necessary it must win power, and it doesn't see what is in the collective interest. All the NDC sees is its parochial, partisan political interests. However, with the evidence on the ground, we've been canvassing across the country. I just returned even from their stronghold yesterday. With the evidence on the ground, we are confident that Ghanaians will vote massively for His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the MPP to continue to turn the economy around. This is primarily because if you look at all the conversation unfolding in our country, and you in the media will attest to that, there isn't any compelling alternative view that the NDC has canvassed. And I can actually pause and have anybody tell me something compelling that the NDC has proposed in light of the challenges we're faced as a people. The difficult economic situations that we've been dealing with since COVID-19 pandemic, since the Russia-Ukraine war, the NDC to date has not proposed any superior alternative. And we believe that this document is really the only hope of the NDC, and that's why we think that every Ghanaian must be exposed to this document, because it actually is something that we ought to condemn, is something that we ought not to accept as part of our political conversation, because the democratic practice we're engaged in is designed or is supposed to be advancing the interest of our country, regardless of our individual political parties' interest. But what the NDC has purposed to do is to subjugate the collective interest, the interest of our country, to its political interest, because it's realized that it has no competing ideas that will convince Ghanaians to vote for them on the strength of the ideas they have, but rather to undertake this sinister agenda to deceive Ghanaians, to hoodwink Ghanaians, and to dupe Ghanaians into thinking that they are an alternative, but in fact they are not. An alternative is a political party that proposes policies that are relevant and capable of addressing our solution. The NDC has not. And I repeat, if anybody has any policy the NDC has proposed, which is of value, which responds to the problem that we face, the NDC minority in Parliament has been disruptive, obstructive, and uncooperative since day one. And the document proves that this has been their plan, which has been at foot since 2021. Pivotal in this regard is the blocking of the passage of the revenue measures proposed in the 2022 budget. And I'm sure all of you recall that back and forth in Parliament with the 2022 budget statement. The 2022 budget proposed certain revenue measures, including the MDA fees and charges bill, the tax exemption bill, and notably the e-levy bill as well. And I need to make a point here. At the time this policy or these revenue measures were proposed, we were in a very difficult environment. And realizing that Ghana can only be saved by Ghanaians, the government came up with a difficult but necessary policy measures or revenue measures to ensure that we are able to dig ourselves out of the doldrums we found ourselves in. The convenient means government would want, especially the e-levy, but one that was necessary so that we can get out of the trouble. And you recall during the COVID-19 pandemic, the president talked about how is it that we can bring back the economy, but not able to bring back a human being who's lost their life. It was a necessary decision that government...
Enti etiefo ni ahwefo se mo hu MPP wo musuban adan na mo yamambofo sa which da hia agba wan kasa kwa de sebe wo kasa sa ade bi na adro wo animu dada eti yehu wa yenimu so wo ba bedi ntro ade Dr. Baomi am flag bearer na onam ho sa no entro dware no Dr. Baomi na baabi a ye nkontompo eti monso no di odi echire sua di odi nkan nantie eti enkontompo entro na mugusu musua adechie bia mo pese mugya bitum emfa ewecheda hiagba we de kone san bra bio emfa wate esa propaganda na wo yen atonsuo mu kra eye dead on arrival she wo se dia ben se eba no propaganda ene entro wa mayosemu a Ghana ha obi enimu se mo de yede curtains band na bom ankasa esa se anya kra no yenimu se mo flag bearer odi ntropa ena empo my penny akufuado entro bebreba wodi ye ehhye ho bo meba one district one factory ena one village one dam cathedral kra wo se wa hye nyankopon bo na wo si cathedral manu no ebi ase Ghana na wo san boy ye kro no ye de nyankopon di ehwe ni panimu bo ne kro no sen akoshifu aban mo aban no eya koshie nko a entro nko a eti o baba ka se enane ye hu document bi eden document Richard Ayagba woman na walk no sabio ne din the same woman e di ben na so mo pay equalization won say mo homa mo tro ye mo tena ase nipa bonefo amambofo ye de mo bu man tetere man anya yie mo tro ye edito so ejapade document a circulative viasia man nyina obi ehu bi adwe bone e wo mutim ne ache mafiafo se mo capture wo man no state capture ne mo ka ye nyina so abam eti obi ehu madwe bone e wo mutim no ena mwatena ase ase ye pese ye equalize eti ye mo ye tirim na ye ntwe homa bi na ye mfa nkɔ hye ndisi fo se ye wo mo a mo abai no mo afeli dadew mo afeli mo felu anenso kra de eye legendary ebinsi da wo Ghana ha eti se wa feli a wuntumi oniema enka emfa nhye wo kashiri yene ye ka se mo ba ban mu a mo ni sika nyafu na corruption emu nkam fam so ana yenya my penny akufu ado asem a kan yes ane na me ba corruption anas principle me de ba ye dwa me pacha ye manum asem etiefo ne Ghana fo a mutie me hwe me me na me kan nya my penny akufu ado also oba betu keta asese went to me what was special prosecutor say we are the mother serpent of corruption about me atale to enya me na me kan ye wo wanum asem wa fail went to me anye etano na nya ndisi na mo wa fail o papa wa sama kan ye ane na sidi ne dollar no sidi na ye hata aye ha wo baba ye ni ye Dr. Bomia me na me kan Richard Ahiagba ye me na me kan mo amanum asem yen fa ne say wo de yen into 3 cedis 80 pesos kwa yen ka say 4 cedis na wo fa $1 ba ko a wo de je sisa Ghana cedis no 4 Ghana cedis ene wo se wo ye economic messiah wo de wa bin e wo sikasem yen to nyum mfe no ye fa $1 ba ko a ye de Ghana cedis sen eye over 16 cedis eye memensa no adwuma Dr. Bomia eye wa wone we MPP amambofo no mo amonsa no adwuma enti wana amama feli wa feli dada enti emfa nkɔhye NDC fo se na NDC fo na mo mmra hyemdwafo so atre secret enhuma bia wo mo plan sa ban feli mo lifespan akasen enu busumi mienu kra eti ye ka felu aho asem a NDC no ho adaje a wo ba be plan kwan obema wa feli mo baje o man 8 years ni no ne mo ye de Ghana edru ase standard adon mahama erezi ye de Ghana edru ye mate ya ba fom koye chi times 100 eno na nya obi na ama mo felinti jan ho asem kakra ne wo kan nyina no sebe nyansa bi anim na ye bone bongala to fom etietia so Ghana for your madrin dada woka policies ho asema John Mama o se me ba techi we ma me ba ma emma Women's Development Bank ye besi emma ba ye ho adwuma wo probosia de atere wo adwuma mu a ye de be ma na won so wagya wo na so emma ye pese financially ye independent eba say my economy no ekononim afa 24-hour economy enhyehyɛ ye de ba na mabunu ye ni adwuma ya manpani akufu ado ne baomia mode na kobe dada mabunu viase kwa muntuo moka wo mo allowance akamu avias besi na montua ye ba be revive economy ni bio economy na makoma tosi no ye ba abe revive ni bia manager na so policy we manya bi de ato adwa mona mo no enya sisifia na mode sa Brabeka samone wo baye ekira manfo na yentientu abama a wonam na wo sa na wo wosuti me na me se kone kwa wo wosuti enti wonni policies wo bi de ne policies to adwa man kwan no fan to adwa say wo de wo no ba mi akra de na tese Donald Trump oye na no say Trump wo wakọ Pennsylvania pa ho no a swing state would do why so we are serious now custom as a not palmers a man for an eteki shower almost say papa he's huge down there look at that not just say ne counterpart ni bo me ha would do campaign platforms as sebe one Kenyans asembia 80 Dr. Bawumia na wo MPPA montwe mo na yenya kwan wate ye ni brabre wo kromo ana mabunu ye pen sakraye no mamon fa sa mo kwa me sam propaganda sam ne ma sa ne eba ne sa mo asoba ya hyepa eti Ghana fo Richard Ahiagba na sam ye okan wo mo na akotena ase e na wo mo akuchi niema bi agu nkrata so pese wo mo enya equalization na chesem ejapade document na wo mo plan said wo mo be Ghana nebe to dwa na ye ka ho asem no wo mo benya bia ka fa NDC ho eso eno de amfa eti no monka nche ne bebia owo bia wo mo afeli afi Ghana fo yes science no inside politics dwumadie na wasugusu etie ewo power 97.9 na TVX YZ live ewo Facebook power 979 TVX YZ mohima ba ko pe ko man nyina gudie be posse my ladies them boss and a majimedra mote menken enche mene Dr. Amponsa ebedin koma basisia yeba ena me guest eye abrantie no ha dun akogan a deputy pani abede church nkitan die soma NDC owo ha ma de bi nso on ho de beba esanse na lawyer David Worry Brown ono so ebeba ne yedi nkomo ne kra de mransam nso awum ena ansa na nso mene empanefo edi nkomo wo enhye so abato empesia so eti meko Amponsa Herbal na mene Dr. Amponsa yedi nkomo basisia ye ba de aka no ye de ato so doc akwaba
obi biara wotie me enne anwumre medin de Dr. Amponsa me free Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital enenam enunti program we mesrew na wo de wafidie no afemme na watie bi pa na ebeboa wo ebeje wo nkwa Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital ye boa oman Ghana enipa ewo mu nyina enunti nipa biara wo yare enne wayaresa aba enne enebe ende enunti bomoden na tie program no ensemu ameka afa nipadua no ho eye yare bi a ye frɛ no typhoid fever first time okay. Because on my way no yensu no na yenua ne die no said ye etie no nti ama typhoid ate se e wo man mu nyina eno nti medican a kyerɛ said ye typhoid te na se wo obi a na ntɛm a wahwehwɛ Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital. Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital ye was Spintex Accra nyina Greater Accra obeba Spintex Coastal Junction udru taxi rank hwa busa taxi for no say o hwɛ Dr. Amponsa na wabeje wayaresa obi beka se doctor ene typhoid no senete typhoid fever eye yare a eye wa symptoms ya obehuni etoda obeti se otipa kakra eho na okon agene se de oso enema no etoda na wachi nkasa ye wo ya etoda na waye mre oho namu etubudwan wo anase oho eye weak we mre power onipaduanom etoda we yam team kakra constipation etoda so na oyam ahwie ai said ye wafa afaduru a oyam ahwie no typhoid ye wa etoda bohu sa onipadua nyina eye wo se ubewu adebechi so no na ote ho enti typhoid fever eye yare bi a ewo oman we mu pa na echew na wonimu a ebi obeka se eye malaria nanso enye malaria typhoid eye yare bi a attack force aha enti typhoid ye emam panimfo ne panimfo a omo ewo money purse mu no a ebetumi achi obi ama na akasa oye bayifo minam ku asumasi nanso onye bayifo bi a na yare a ye friend typhoid e na ache no a eye ne saa etumo ma ne ye confuse onipadua ne nyina ebetumi ama wo ankasa behu se wahwe kro obekasa obi ato aduro anase bayifo bi e na eku nanso na ente saa yare a your friend typhoid fever and symptoms ebi no etoda yare bi nso ewo ho a your friend hepatitis B eno ne typhoid no se symptoms no because ya na hepatitis B no eta free typhoid mu ba eta free jaundice mu ba eta nso free malaria mu ba na esan sa hepatitis B no yare a echewa etumu je oyafu yare pa etumu ma wo chest wo bo etumu wo ya te said ya obi wo ho a otwene mu na ne mu toto ntentem wo ho ntentem wo te sa entemu a check sa yare ema me na wo bo ataya wo ya ntentem etumu se wo bo no mu because emo no ta tena wo liver ene o lance no mu enunti etumu ma wa koma ho wo eti said ya de mpane ya bi ahyehye wo bo wo te sa entemu a bra Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital na yemu wa wo mame eya na yare bi ewo ho a meka se nipadua mu kuro anasa body inflammations no egu ahodo pa na yare ekum nipa mpo se yato obi din sa wo HIV anasa wo yare we
okay
sa enipadua mu kuro yi obi wo ho a ekuro to mo ba ne yam na as se ne brebo wo ba Dr. Amponsa ho a yebeku kuro na ewo wo yam no nyina na yede me wo machine bi wo the friend of magic machine enipa biara wo ti asase so se we use magic machine because ebema o blood cells ni nyina be ye brand new
okay
ena se obi wo ho a wanya ekuro aba ne system num amana chika sei eye ne ya ne mfe eye ne ya ne konwachi ye ne ya ne tidwa no eye kuro na wo mo say ya the magic machine sini so a just 20 minutes na pains na jai
wow
yeah because our quality cells ni nyina e basa ne ya manipa na ekura duro yare no mabiem ene ye won krofo bebre wo ho a wanya sisi yare ye fra bibi osteoporosis spondylosis osteoarthritis eyen kasemu yare ene entinimu yare sa yare we ena chewo aje ubetumi anya bibi abroni fra no sciatica sciatica no so wo 19 na wo 19 ni nyina ya wo ya na nipa no wo sudi areho ma me papa we Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital me the machine bi aba machine din the magic machine and it is magic machine se wo ba eye na juma short time se nipa no wo yare bi a ye friend diabetes num say ya ye the sin ye funu so na ya quality ne pancreas no se ne pancreas no ho tono a oni diabetes bi yim sa na tie se de nyame ye nipa no diabetes West Africa nyina me ne best
okay
eno nti be pesa me kire atiefo nyina se wo yare a si kire yare a eya na bebre nim se yare bi a chese wutu nya na hwe mame nkire wade bi nyame bo nipa no obo bibi to yam a efre no pancreas pancreas no na djuma a oye nyina ne se onya asikire wo yam anase wudidi nipa bia wudidi wie na aduane no ya adjuma na esa ebeda sugar sa sugar no na nipa emau energy sa sugar no ye friend insulin na sa asikire ya me ka ho asemi se edane wie a pancreas no na de ya adjuma ma wo na amau energy ahoden enti bi wo ha wanya osa na che won so nti affecting the pancreas no ti pancreas no nya adjuma e basa asikire de be fa bojam na ya ka kire nipa no se owo yare a ye friend diabetes sa wo ba Dr. Amponsa Maase ya me the machine no be si wo yafunu so na ma poleto pancreas no e basa pancreas no ye adjuma wie a eno a be yi asikire akọ mojam de ya adjuma e basa wo jare diabetes bi sa na tie ena nkrofo bi mu wo ho a o yare bi te se stomach ulcer peptic ulcer chronic ulcer gastric ulcer ni nyina ye kuro oba ye be kunu ama wo ye wo yare bi a cha wo so pe na ama blood cells na awu
okay
se blood cells no wu a woni padu yare blood cells na nwu anwia wontum nwu ba na se enye accident dia obetumi awu ba se enye accident a eje wo cells ni nyina wu awie ansa na watumi awu obi wo ha wanya na koma ayen laage akoma na ayen laage no akoma no mu cells no yare onyo okay aji ye the machine sine so
magic machine no
ya na ye quality na koma no na akoma no be ye se de nyame ye no eno ano no ai se ye se obi yare BP BP me kabri bi asa o doctor na o hwe no bi san se BP kura ne hwan BP bibi na deba eno ti se bibi bia eni uso o how bia eni uso a wotumu nya BP yare eno ne na ahema ade a enipa nim eti obi wo se doctor ye se me wo BP me fa aduro BP aduro na wo fa na eno ne de he e wo se ansa na ubenya BP yare no ada se wakoma ayen laage wo quality akoma na uni BP biem se bia wo wuntini no mu asisi a Ubi mu a uni BP biem. Se wo ye obi a kuro wo wuntini mu a BP ba kosoro. Ukum kuro no a uni BP. Se wonya diabetes a BP ba kosoro. Utiti diabetes na BP ba fom. Eno ti diabetes sa BP a ye ka ho asemi. Enemo bebre na de ba. Eti ye collect ade kuro no a ede BP no brewo. Na je se wonni BP biem.
Okay.
Sa na ti ye. Ena nkrofo bebre enso wo ho a wo se wo burning sensation. Ahohyehye pa. Se wo honam hyehyew edwan wo me just 20 minutes e ma biem.
Magic machine.
Yeah.
Na entemo wo hin.
Ye was Spinters Coastal Junction taxi rank wo. Se nipa no wo ba wo de e bia na wo ba bi ti se circle anasa wo La Paz nam side ba bia obenya Spinters car. E na wo Temanom ne just a central region no ma ba bia obeba be station bia busa Spinters car. Wo furu aka kire mate ni se obesi wo Coastal Junction. Usi wo ho busa taxi for no so re Dr. Amponsa. Kumase ye wo hwim Tigo Junction taxi rank hwa. Uduru ope busa taxi for no so re Dr. Amponsa. E na won so a wo sunwane ye wo new VRA na yesi wo koto krom kwa no so. Sunwane de magic machine no ye mfa bi nko ho. Eti sa wo hia magic machine de aje wo ba Kumase. E na won so a wo central region nyina no. Mbeba Accra na yahwe aboa moma mo ho atomo. Emma o mo hia awo nso so no ye ho ye twins kra na pa onsa ebeka.
Eti bo number na ne.
Mame mo numbers no hia me pa. Eni ti se wo de wo ntumi a record ntem ema me. Wo be frɛ 0243 110875 0243 110875 Ena 027 85 99 611 027 85 99 611 Sa lines we nyina ofra abrochefo no momfra ne emidi kan boy 0243 110875 eno ye WhatsApp esa ye calling number yare bi amamodi wo ha no bomode na bra yare amenye hu aduro ye ba ko pe ye frɛ no cho.
Okay.
Yes, be obema show I can see. And apart from no, ya real be a recutia no. You should Dr. Amponsa Herbal Hospital. Na ye mua. Because Dr. Amponsa just me say, why are Safi?
Yo, enti doc yada sa papa ene apomudi ho enkoma anase amane ba wo de abrɛ wasugusu etie inside politics dwumadie e wo power 97.9. Ye live on so ewo TV XYZ a wo hye babia stations ahodo wo mo efa yen information centers ahodo wo mo jeje ni nyina agumum na ye to aso ye di enkomo sabe de ye beko enhia so abato empesua so wo se enibre na ejina mu afi se ye pensakra ye papa ama etese ye di aba ya setena mu wo man Ghana mu no enya asem keto nti adwuma na yeguso eye ye ne endi sama yekone mu dwomtene ewo nhye so abato empesua so NS afayam ebedi enkomo na chese ofiri ho na aba beto aye ebo ha chairman memo akwaba
be paso hima erade adom me ho ye akwaba no suma so mpa
na ze wo fi NHIC de me se me ma akwaba obeka se bi aye nua ya obi ade akade na ho okay na NHIC to say
NHIC de erade adom se de ohositi no boko na bibi ne besi afi we wo ho
den ne besi
bibi kese bibi besi nyame ya adoma
bibi besi
yento aban 7th December na enya MP for NHIC friend of Madam Faustina Dere Obapa Fausti.
Oh wow.
For the first time.
I didn't see a beba sa. Hey, so when they not say a bean seed.
I said a few way na kasa said we mu in saturasi ba na insu bofu nsase bofu ndua bofu na nyame bofu no. Enti anwanwade nkwa na eba besi this time around. Enti the unsusu no. Ebe happen this time around. Enti NHIC for a crowd.
Okay.
Omaji brese omo mfa nchia sonkomre power ni TV XYZ4. Na ye man crime for hu se omo kan seat omo adwene ni so bia afi ba be ka ho na omo kan hu se nchia so e de surprise kese eba ebeta His Excellency John Dramani Mahama any Professor Nana Jino Pokwa Jumechi. So we say I feel we know. Akwa to say for the first time ye babenya Oba Vice President. Nti mana omagina wo asanteman mu no. Enyuma na omo edi. Enyuma omo bo. Ene omo ho keka. Ene sede enye se a man who offered you, but apart from beauty, no brains no. So I say very visible, vibrant, attractive. And so do baby a crana. You show more keke crana was there be way. No one offered you, but I do not bet me the abwa mine. Yes, said the TV sooner. Why your bass on no.
Sana o baby.
Sana o baby. And in Shai Suma a crado pa say. As I say, it may make it a bold statement.
Okay.
So what I say. Na nye afina yeba benya MPB oba ko yisi ni bia.
Ade mo mrashe bedwene no o se o yisi ni won.
So ono ankasa kan e Parliamentary house say. Ono ankasa na kan say bushia yeba gusli ni ade ade. Say so no elite constituency. So no so ho na RCC no e wo. The KM no wo ho titri for na tete ho no. Enti omuhia a better representation. Debi or kasa say or kasa with seriousness. So just say because it's so prem puntu a bansha suman a first class constituency like this no enunti so utie a policy being a friend of 24-hour economy no. Now utie the national apprenticeship program no. Now utie the National Women's Development Bank na. Sa policy means we never satisfy share so for.
Okay.
And for that matter yeni abre you run a 24-hour on share so patasi be de pa. So they say near run bisu the rich police a golden tulip area ho e be come up near the bisu aba hojo area. Pockets of insurance be ho no ma say 24-hour economy city. Nti yeso ye prebi.
Said the wo kan ye no say e ho ne de MPP. Oma sen kese pa but wo kan with confidence.
Yes.
Na e den na modi egu akwan mu amamo hu ne sa say mo di seat.
Good. Obana e din edi enim kan no for the first time no say share so no yeti free bantama ho in 2004. Nti ye ne bantama ne kwada so triplets. Nti tem ye bo bantama ne abo kwada so ne abo share so na nkofo yi ma hye. The edi kan ne say omo ma be di so ina na ye mema. In no free party back bi. Sa party no so the edi kan no ma disappointed Ghana for big time. Yes. Into the era of say be share MPP atade the be share ubia ne ato abama no mo say enye dwuma biom this time.
Okay.
Nti obapa first na dairy buy no odi buos no nko bi emma ahemfofo mo ho opinion leaders o mo ansa no so be starting a problem no ko ubia na so.
Okay.
Ekosre say omo oyedehye na this time no opese odi ebuos no nko bi emma omo na osre omo nsemu nhira na okwa said ya info ne gine fefefe so etimi ka kire ye se so opese oba be ye ne campaign no kra na ye nka nche omo abebodwa nye se ye ko friend this fo
why I info
yes ombebodwa
wow
na wa be kan nsem a kire omo enu alone nkwa a big statement apart from that no we move every mechanic shop every fashion shop every saloon every taxi station every tipper truck station every trotro station the policies could go akwan. So the visibility
not say one yama me ma shebedwene ko identify with a man for na
e
wo ho e bomb level mo hu say omo ye nipa ba
oh ne krani nyame nim oba be ye parliamentary candidate no pressure wa to ama ye MP no yen MP we deputy finance minister Stephen Amoa
na mu yi concert sa
so a deputy finance minister and so ya man hu say enye say ye deputy finance minister na wo sika nkwa na betimi there be how I be related to people now be man kofo ne hu the seriousness of you nti obapa first ye mo frɛ ye omo GHS omo kosoro nso hwe suku biara won sha so important bia no make sure so provide mathematical set them omo.
Wow.
So ba ye 9 watts all the 9 watts we boyrim marketer wakoho akosra omo. Na why organize breast screening So I say October boss me be ana breast screening.
Yeah, breast cancer awareness month.
Yes. Nti wa organize saa ne oma no wo important bebre okọ Atasimanso, Santase, Ahunjo, Patase. Yasa so akompotem potema akọ yetimi koye cleaning no be tise kwada so este so mo say na yenim se nipa bi wo etunhu ache sei.
Okay.
Yenim se nipa bi wo ahofama sei. Nti NDC for na mafam ho adwene se mo ye sa de ne yakaya o mo se tama Yewra Julius Debra mo minister for local government. No ne will be a friend sanitation day. But you know buy no mo dey fi no they don't care. Nti you say cleanliness is next to godliness. So mo hwe nipa na ye dey ba no mo se da bi bibi sununku bi say Daniel sana bibi sununku bi so esi won sha so na ye frɛ baby Wood Village. When say what Wood Village a industrial hub kese sika ye free hon mo enye small sika. But so kwan ye de call Wood Village hon no me nua ba say wanya careful na say wa fa fru na obefa so a nyi se ne be say so tias insusu to a na cars na akwa tintim and the first class constituency in deserve side to Wood Village for no de bia omusu kwan no kra na e wo Wood Village honum na e betimi access no cars e room ni na I say but e baby e betimi create nyuma enu nti Emma ye bread that national apprenticeship program no say carpenter for no mo honum. You can imagine omo we secondary school mo say den san no adwuma na ye ne de omo ko honum. Okay. You can imagine the value a omo benya any sika be create among. Inti as for the vision no any power here to nansen ye organize a constituency work bi. Ena we ne ekwa campaign launch na ese we ni ense o ka kire. Said the enkrofon nam Land Cruiser timi park no agina mo ma ye t-shirt. Wow. Yes. Na enwo nta santiman na nkasa no dane nta santiman no dane no nhyia so benya ne fair share of it. Okay. Itama His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba ya yekoye fundraise with Golden Bean yekoye fundraise with Golden Bean ye pon ya na jono ye mu bi share say ye nante na ye fa honom no say enuanu ma bia na o ma bejejo mo se nyom pe o mo se nyom pe o mo se o mu nya nyuma nya nti omo ka kire say ye mmom ne ne mra ne mebo ma no ne fa t-shirts mra mo because National Development Bank no na Professor Nana Jino Bokajima de ba no say so munyo mo chefa wo because omunya business bi ya omo mama mbegina gina ho no sa nti ye sha esman ye ka kire the national national trato ina ne say sha yeso for ayo madune say we want to be counted amongst the majority. Okay. And for that matter, we want to deliver the seat for it. Has now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Ni votes now or the Babebe president, you know. Ye bon sha so won say da ho bam. Yes, we are family man. It will be ara answer waka. Na onwre efifi Hamlet ne enkoto abanama His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne Professor Pokajima. Na unim. Me ba ha na metie fidi bi so. Menya message bi me buofu pa. Oh, aden. Menya message Dear Mr. Fayam, I am Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and I wanted to choose both solutions on my phone also. Me drew Anna me so send the man and I say, hey, Aden, my desperate sir. Desperation I Auntie, I won't can say, I feel we are large on your president. And Sanet, Uncle Home. Now, a Sebio say, I'm passing with dear na pork now, Uncle to us. Now, Madame, anyway, chairman Ernest Afayam or ye endi sama yokonu dwomteni ewo enhia yeso abato empisia so ena yetene kana afi wokwa abato so a mo amutie ye ewa santemantam titu enhia yeso empotomo no my penide no wotoma John Mahama na Faustina Derry as waka no atoama no oba fefe with brains wo ode empuntunuma ebeba amama sitemu aye kama ewo nhye so abatom pesua so nti monkai na fia abatom na monto emano tema yeda asepa na baba yedrin medame ho abasisia akogan eye me guest opel won pel de okaye no de beba David Worry Brown or no oye mranimu ne wabin yipam womo ebeba abetrase ama yedim komo medame ho abasisia
Right, Mesam Wakwaba Bio Edeba Inside Politics Dumedia so ewo power 97.9 TV XYZ so Medinkai ebo monka yesema bedwafo ye krado ewo ha ameno omo eba bedim komo akogan oye penia bedie kira ohwe enkitamodie sodema NDC amayoko no menim ne ntia ohwe manimu sa Ghana kwaba
yenua wa ho ofena na meshe
oh okay
o lipstick no watari no so much
oh my ene yemfa sedama Lizzy
okay
aha Lizzy na esiesi mesana medase na de ofre boko
nyame ado me bia boko
ye de nyame ase de ye kan so de bai
ai
o de amanse nyina tese wo de bai na se ya pona se wo customers trame papa was ba shio
mese me de bai afi
yo mate na lawyer David Worry Brown ono so eye mranimu ni na odi ne dwuma so wo Accra Technical University akwaba
yenua ana yena
ni nyina ye aha
se ja wo oba paint ya be ka se yena
yo medase de wo frɛ
nyame adom ye ho ye
okay
na akuga ye se udi ba ya na se me nama nkrofo NDC t-shirt se ayese
I say cocaine I say cocaine
t-shirt asam ne ye ko wono anka se woni
and won say t-shirt we so no ye dey project umbrella
yes
aha because number exactly number 8 no ehun be hia pa say ye dey umbrella no be ye friend say the symbol to look out for because dodo na numbers in chain and what you are going to look for a umbrella and a John Dramani Mahama and now show a parliamentary candidate no so obi or the 2 obi or the 3 one day and kaho one day a museo number 2 and 3 debi aha into 2 and 3 into senebeya and confuse no. You just look out for the umbrella, and that is all that we want to project.
Now we show 6 packs so we see.
Hey, nobody might tell me that. That's it.
No,
that's it. So chat, mami, Mike and Ekra. Also, I'm projecting the view, mami.
Zoom in.
Exactly. That is the sign.
Hey, umbrella, and the show, and nothing else.
Exactly.
Me can't afford to say we are executive member at the national level. Yes. Munim say NDC umbrella na ye totem.
Exactly.
Enti inkabe year. Muma a lot of paraphernalia enko umbrella. Yenhu umbrella no chinie no with people using it.
Yeah.
Because as a umbrella na ayere bisa yenhu. But it's our totem.
Okay.
I'm telling you something spiritually.
We will project it. Then so let me be very honest. Yeah na opposition no ntino. And it may be a ne printing no ya na ne course no was wrong say bia o de be print e bia umbrella 10 no it can print about 100 of t-shirts into no and then next so na ma the nkrofo bisapa eye friend t-shirts en kan say wa shebi Sunday me share Theresa Winnie there na ye program be Maminda ni boy man ward ase o me program chenchereche pa mpeni for eba ase na make us say we are make kwakoti na make mu no and obi so matade mu say sa atade wo fa kofi into no I had to nyame adom so na me share vest e was here no I just had to take it off and give it to
teacher to them
exactly
me lecturers me college lecturers cry omo jebi pa
oh wow
me nyaketu bi fi baby asan
me kwa me waka krabi a me se me che eno ne ejapade say no to ejapade t-shirt aha me wo bia me che edema manfo ntino wo betumi a contact me no wagibi enye se doosu kakra bi a me chama manfo ntino wo ba ntem a na wanya bi esa na tie eti inside politics dwumadi na waso egusu etie Mugabe Maase baby a wo bia mechia Alaji Tanko I see you papa I see you baby a wo bia ye papa Abraham Kumsen lawyer Moses Zizie munya mo ye too much mo hweyen ye chia mom make am for Moses Clinic and Prostate Center the amount was saying one bia ye ba ko pa wo be ko na wakonya wayaresa ye de bibidro na esa wo yade wasi bibi say prostate ho nsem fabro makache enamu nyarewa na say enamu emrewye wo ba Moses or the aduro beka na wagina wo na so peme e wo mpam ame hu say wo be mamu afa wo de Moses garlic capsule saba and also yin konya ye pa sayade ye niema kese ma modede afusa ne ye te cholesterol eso bomodia ese wo beto bi anom ba bia wo beko bia ye Herbal shop bi mu benya bia denta ba we on police station di hwene mu ASL building emu wo Ghana Highway Authority Ministries wo mo ho agye kojo so on school for the deaf edi hwene mu ahema kokoben ewukumase wo be hu wo mo ya afro mo 0244068447 0244068447 the Safari Valley Eco Resort yanko ji enie ene wukuada ya wada efiada osimu na tese weekend na edru so no ensasa wotena fa ko abribi ase wudi weekend ya asesem eti Safari Valley Eco Resort etoda kra wo ye dwumade bi ede domba ana sempo no conference bi na wo ya wo betumi akọ wo mo dawu wo kreman sini emu wudru hwa wani bejepa environment no serene na afen so no muadoma bia wunhu bida no etoda nkora no ye kire wom hu wo buku mu won fa nani hunu bi fa ne kono nkɔhwe bi 0596 914394 0596914394 na wono mo akasa Power Specialist Herbal Hospital biaya sonko a yade bi te se fibroid or tenete obi so fibroid mojato a dendenden te se rock yeti free ho enye yi Power Specialist Herbal Hospital wo de bibidro be kan na ne nyina nane oba wo uterus na fibroid na betare ho no na anania ma ahoto abafe conception betumi atake place wo no mpabiabu yesi yakasi enye yi Power Specialist Herbal Hospital de bibidro na ye kompo nyina wo sa owo kumase feyase Lake Bosonche kwan ne so Accra Kwabenya Pokuase ACP Road and Atakra de Anaji Estates ube hu omo 0244544422 0244544422 amuzu garlic bitters drain no mobi wate reduce cholesterol sanso ena wonsa no na ye otititi a wonu mu bia etenetema moja ne di afusa ne yie sa na mepese me kire eti ahoto ebe ni pedua no emu obi ho do home a ensiso na home tre wonum amuzu garlic bitters ahoto beba na baby eton aduro bi ho Food and Drugs Authority agi atomu say ye afre 0247776743 0247776743 eti moyema ba akopɛ beposo yema kwa o man nyina gudie na medi dwumadie ho kyia me a motemenka ye di nkomo mra hyebedwom o man Ghana ye mra hyebedwa fie no sesi a controversy sai ni ti wo ho no edoso enya asem ketewa ni nyina afa say why ne majority why ne minority wo ho na afen so article 97(1) GH speaker ejina so ka say womo eba mrashebedwam wo MPP amayekuo ni di mu NDC amayekuo no edi mu nei omo say ye ko independent obi so se me ba independent na so me de me ho akodom NPP eti no ezane na chese emra no ne ekira ne say ye declare wo seat vacant information speaker edit to edwa no nam so de nsɛm bebree ɛbaayɛ court asɛm ba mu ɛnra mmarahyɛbadwa no ɛba asetena no speaker sɛ monkɔ kyɛ sɛ yɛagye ne house no indefinitely yɛnim da yɛbɛba sesia na yɛbɔ mamaneɛ ɛsɛ NPP mmarahyɛbadwafoɔ no wɔn atu anamo bi atre gas recall ɛsɛ yɛnsan frɛ parliament no ɛmmerɛ bio nsɛm yi ɛyɛ asɛm a ɛda pa so a yɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ ɛndi samayoko mo de krataa baeɛ akogan na mobile speaker ba so sɛ ne decision no it was a wise decision ɔyɛɛyɛ ɛnra baabi a akwaba bɛdura NPP foɔ sɛ yɛnsan frɛ mmarahyɛbadwa no ebio wohu ne sɛn
right meda Obi Maase na mechia Power FM ni TV XYZ ahwɛfoɔ ne etiefoɔ nyinaa edikan yɛsɛ sɛ penny enifia due anora tension ana ɛwɔ ɔman Ghana mu me assure say almost everybody was either tuned to a radio or watching a television say Diana ebesi ewo parliament especially when early in the morning around 7:30 any nyane nte say MPP for abase enkrofo akwakodu parliament say basa e number be yo say ye den yo nobody knew enunti enoso essence so erezi tension no yesan so ehun say ye the military for akwakogu Parliament House and name enkramai exactly
and actually Parliament na
exactly but it is something that yenina yenhunu da yenina yenhu da no it means it was always done at our blind side yes so yenim say on this I think January 7th 3 years ago yehu soldier for take over bi on be your parliament and adie to do adwene sisi sa ne man nyina so a then the expectation of everybody was rising by the day but people also expected say anka speaker ebetwe judiciary no Supreme Court for annual our form because it has become obvious say the juma omudi ye no na omu ni ho kwan say omudi sa juma no ruling also was one of the poorest ever in the history of the Republic of Ghana and also at the Supreme Court. Exactly. Exactly. Now apart from it being draft crown, Supreme Court entenase on Fridays. Inti obia to me who say inti then na Supreme Court afenyo to me drew around 11 o'clock. Eko file ye file wie no and na osan so far phone. E de frɛ Madam Tokon say bradwuma na pe enkrofo judges 4 ebe ka ho na mo meye sa rule we emman. Inti utumi who say there be ade we de senye na nado nsa na ewo mu pa na say enye politics na ewo mu a na de be kanu sha. You understand? Because it is I don't know how to put it, but it is crazy. So obi beba mind boggling. Say obi be to me aba beduru ho 11 about 2 o'clock no enya your friend is saying the judgment ya more speaker mane ya more age ya mane say exactly. You see, so udi nyama wo united ehwa utumo say emrano was on the side of the Speaker of Parliament. Inti we nyina nim say anko no so me kra de na nka me pesanka speaker ready court verdict no obi ananko atetim na nko atuwa. That was my expectation.
Na no de na ba sa ye de atemu adwuma na nim atwitri fom.
Na sabo na mo pe. You say odwan na epe. Baby a odi no fufuo ba. Baby a odwan pe e no de no fufuo e den ebo. Mo na mo de e friends ahoma akwa sai mo ko. But enunti na ma ye bo speaker abaso. Or active say penny aye here. sanka Nana de Dranko Akufo-Addo etumi nya 1% of speaker the responsibility ni na dwene a menya sure sanka baby ne nyansa medase ene ne nyansa menya sure se baby aye we oho enanka ye be wonne enu nti ne ma ye bo na baso se de na nipa hwehwe sanka ntokwa beba o se da bi me gina emraso me nko Supreme Court for hold the no cry because omo muntumi nkyere ye edwuma ye beye so I'll pretend say me who ni ruling no cry se ne be ya ye betoa so ni ye di edwuma enti se ababetena se de a enema mienu ne babehwe vote and proceedings ade a course wo no minutes a omo troye na ade no bibia da mo pefe se bibia na mo pefe a yen correct ne yen ko ye wie ye so say there aka wo yenim no as a in its quorum because a bibia a decision making say decision making there na patch say your numbers no enso enti no yen ko pe bebi na etuo enkotwere de e be twere se ne be ya ye be close parliament no until say ye benya friend say numbers say di be ye adwuma anase bibi be si na me ankasa ma free parliament anase mumu bi mutumi nya quorum anase mutumi nya signatures a ye betumi dia free parliament bi wa mo de ba emra na say 1 week or say 2 weeks so ye betumi afree 7 days 7 working days ye betumi asan so aba betena say na adwuma nti amode free ye no ya kwakọ hwe ho adwuma that is the maturity enra ebaye ema Ghana nyina eye form you understand
na Democrat mo say mo refer to the NDC caucus as majority
yes that was the first declaration speaker here nipa 4 ena free parliament
okay
so nipa 4 free ho ba ko ye NDC ni miensa eye MPP eno sosoro initially no yenti bibiase NPP in the first place was not the majority in parliament
yeah
137 inti yenyina no ya bro pepepe
yeah
but to make the MPP a majority no yankase majority party yakase the majority group because independent bi akwakoka omoho a osi minimu ne be ye adwuma inti MPP is not the majority party to me a group omakom ho abom se ne be ya ometumi a change by 1 and plus or minus ye de ba ko efrim mom de miensa efrim automatically no ye na ya ba be majority and share the votes and proceedings and rasoa time we working out I'm control say MPP majority na working out say there be mon correct a minority ena aye ba omi akogina baby a all campaign enokoka say oh na NDC for enya 24 hour your friend say majority na omenya akwenya wo court nti no sisi o masan so ababe majority we are still the majority and in fact why they join here
per majority amonko ewo polling station
of course polling station so na ye the majority no efri aba because numbers na ho na free baby ya polling station results na aba betena see secondly polling station so a ye the ye kopa majority wo no oho na mukoku nipa 8 no mutwi tuo eku nipa 8 for you to be able to have that majority and no be no moka say so yankoye ni enkonya majority na we are not going to go that route but yeah babeje yaji sa majority we no next year so no we will still keep maintain our your friend is saying majority status and with a wider margin margin.
I know them we confident
about it. Wider margin. You understand? And Ghana ni bia would see me bia. Wa me fasa akwenya we. Baby a umbrella no will be a team irrespective of problem a one wo MP wo one PC wo one bibia wo. Hwe your constitution no eno na MPP fo gina so e de ahoma sensen ye kon. a business ruling here Supreme Court for ekoye na ade no. If we are able to get a majority, na majority no so ye nya no yetumi nya 2/3 majority a constitution na nkasa no ye onema bebre ho a ye betumi asesa ewom. Send be ya somebody cannot get up whimsically to make any your friend say decision be a or no feel say ope. You understand? We can properly make sure say sa flaws na ewe your constitution ne yimu a emma MPP for kwan say omo twist no say omo pe omo nya judge bi a ne kon achi akakra no so what twist emra no eko bibia ono epe. To be able to stop some of these things, we must get yes, 2024. We are looking for a 2/3 majority in Parliament. I mean, there's such a fire buyer or my assurance seats be or why you or Ashanti region. At least from our side, we have targeted 10 seats. Yebabejo Ashanti Memu, yen Jida. A minimum of 10 seats. You get it? Yes. These are some of the things to make sure say yebenya 2/3 majority Parliament in the next administration. And yate say MPP for almost started say omo JJ your friends and signatures. You see say open say obi koja we year. Usun ene wo yawo no ene be ho say we di aka wakoma panti enkojawo. Enra mo Parliament. Moment na se na ye medi nkomo. Mo na mode mo niema eba Parliament. Ye yo opposition ye ne bibia ye de kwakoto Parliament say mo meka ebi maye. Mo na mo ho a mo babe moment na se na ye.
At the end of the day e fa ye nyina.
Exactly. Into no ebi so ho a esay o man no. Because someone near may be a omde bar and to see 11 ye bebe twitwa niema bebre mu enye bibia na omde bar ebo man no dodo na eboa modi dodo na abo mo ankasa you get what I mean intino moment na se ferry intino wo se me pie me ko obi mpamo obi mo wo de patapa enani wuo say ye be your friends are penyo markings ye be friend minority leader and if these people are not looking at your friends say o mining na ye hi asem na omo de na omba be hwe de omo ba be dwem ho de a na tell say e mususem intimo na ma sorry ko intimo gigi signatures yi ye fa ne say ne motumi agigi de nyina ewie. Because they will not, yes, 91, they will make to me eja. Moi, didn't know ne. More the aqua in Parliament, echna. Nature say, Friday, and a church Friday, boy. Nature next week, Ukrainian to me 7 working days. Nature said next week, Ramun to me international. The following Tuesday,
Monsa come 3 weeks.
I come 3 weeks.
Hey,
what's also by fear why he now better? Chesia, we a minority. Baby, I know I was a want no. Oh, by him now, quaquatana. Because yeah, ma quite my uncle to the majority.
Hey,
it was better for you to have solved it yesterday. Na yemfa ejumano entwaso. But what got to the whole of next week, no? Because a year day, speaker nifaso no munya hunt na bio. Into no adia na so wonya no. Oh baba be yana.
And this mo ka kire mo mra chebedwafo say ma o mo sorry ho no.
We don't need to tell them omunim. Enye ye ne be ka kire mo. When declare say a majority.
So why would they?
It didn't no be ka kire obi say men pene ana there be them omo ankasa no mo pene.
So
you want to say
they are going by the court ruling.
Oh, court ruling no. What do do Parliament gate na no? Don't touch any as we read them. Court ruling no enko dem. Yeah, for bongarata too baby. You understand? Into no either say obeba no abre wo ase. No akwakọ tena o minority side no edwuma na to aso. Say nya sa baby abetena no kra betumi ama yebekọ parliament o yenya hwe nya ne asan so apon yesan so pon bio na say leadership entumi agree on anything speaker besan so aka say he is adjoining it senedie net so besan so akọ jeje ibio a obekọ akọ signatures bi na December 7th near to waba. You understand?
Obianso ko ne constituency
exactly.
Ebre ni ho.
Exactly.
Eden kra na fenyo ma kire ya.
Awo brasie bia eni wonu mu. But
no wasisa ne to bebre go trouser mu na.
I know so the people so share so the. Sorry.
I know is showing us nyash.
Anyway, it's for the issue of this, there's no two ways about it. We are the majority group. We are maintaining it until this parliament closes.
Very well.
And senyamiya omwadom omumubi. Senyamiya omwadom na omosanso eba. They will learn lessons before they enter the house. Omo press conference in the exam so come baby and make
ye bedi hu nkomo na papa ne dress ne che say mekaya medi me ho enye. Avanyo me azo me papa o but ne wo ye de papa sesa wonsa no na enye kra wo ya bo my Ghana. Na lawyer memra wo so ekoba say NPP fo ye omo ye minority nei wo parliament no almost so yentina say ne ebeye sade a momfa chamber ho na omokoye speaker ode ne ruling eba ebeto edwa enka minority fo ne tina ase a enka ebekosen evi asienso speaker ne decision menka nsa a ode to edwa no eno nso no yenka say eye ne kwan so ano no anase nanka ese okobai de na wadi nka ye wo mu say na wa instruct ne lawyer say wo mu so enfa nkrata bi enko Supreme Court ho a efa de court no eka ye no eho ye wo America kra bi na which is a parliament no rise ya enesa ne ekosui ebeboa what's the way forward ye nya nti say speaker oguso ye consultation ahodo ene enimdefo mpanifo edin komahwe the way forward. Is that the way to go?
Yo minua me da se me chia etiefo ne ahwefo ni na minua ba before me koso no me obi ka asem bia me be say me bosso nipa ne say when you come to parliament majority is the NDC and they will not allow MPP to succeed. When you go to the Supreme Court Supreme Court majority is the NPP and they will also not allow parliament to succeed. Now who go suffer? Government business. No, I don't know. Now, maybe two questions. One, was the Supreme Court right or wrong? Second one, was the Speaker right or wrong? Now, say you share provisions now what constitution no more. Clear. Now, Speaker was not attempting to interpret the Constitution. Constitution akasam at all. And the Speaker now on my information say adia esinienti muma yendisu. And in the House our Parliament is the Speaker who makes what announcements. Se BBC Speaker na edituja. Now we share so provision
and also abakosam nso wo bie ho.
Exactly. Remember now we share provision nso provision has been enforced by what standing orders of what Parliament. Now question maybe is who interprets the standing orders of Parliament? It's the Speaker. And the near standing orders are provided for and near our constitution pair. Now the Speaker interprets standing orders in conformity with the Constitution ambiguity be so in that like I said, the Speaker was not wrong. Near our because if a person he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election, at the time of your election to Parliament, let's just say to Parliament, political parties so eba Parliament no se wo fi mu to join another party or seek to remain in parliament as an independent member. Me were parliament as MPP elected person. I'm now seeking to remain in parliament on the ticket of an independent what standing. Clear. I am say. Ebia. Omo amu dreams are the way enye straightforward no. Ebia brofuna ye drew. Ama omo kakra.
Someone more call law school, Kramu, you see a reasonable man.
Yes, the way straightforward. Second one, if he was elected a member of parliament as an independent candidate, who was elected as an independent candidate, Formina MP, he was elected as an independent candidate, and joins a political party.
Political party,
and now who are independent candidate? Akufo-Addo say, I cannot work with you. You don't belong to us. Yeah. Now you want to remain in parliament as MPP member. You have now joined MPP. The thing is clear. If you do that, you know, said a member of parliament shall, the word is shall vacate his seat in parliament. So where did the speaker go wrong? Now let's look at whether the Supreme Court was right or wrong. It is the duty of the Supreme Court to interpret what? Laws. But the problem here is not about interpretation.
Okay.
There was no problem of interpretation here. I do not want to mean person me call faults now or documents now. How can you file something in court to solve something which had not yet been done? It please man, I don't mean person me call no more.
But no cry and penifo mutina to cry.
Entity. So Supreme Court was to do interpret now document about Supreme Court. Now Constitution now must say it is what only the High Court that can determine issues of what, whether a seat in Parliament has been declared what vacant. And the Supreme Court, I thought, say, if this issue about vacancy in Parliament has been brought before the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court should have declined the jurisdiction and referred the issue to what? High Court.
Justice William Atuguba or Kanye.
Yes, Article 99.
The Supreme Court the two Musom better so it was wrong.
It was wrong. It is Article 99 of the Constitution of Ghana. The High Court shall. And you say me.
Sembi so na America ewom digidi o betra asem so ana o say it ya say we say we betra so wo so ya sha wo say bra it here there say okay bibi
na say sanity there na just
integrity
say sanity there na just Supreme Court they are not independent.
Aha baby aye dru no
sanity
baby aye dru no
o say me a lawyer new I am
exactly careful
because see one the High Court shall have jurisdiction to hear and determine any question whether a person has been validly elected as a member of Parliament or the seat of a member has become vacant. The High Court shall, not the Supreme Court. So why is the Supreme Court stretching its tentacles into the domains of the High Court? That is why, for me, I think maybe the Supreme Court erred. I think so. Because they should have referred the issue to what? High Court. The other one is interlocutory injunction. What are you injuncting? Something the Speaker has power to make such declaration. He has made those declarations. Parliament is a master of its own. Now the action has been taken. Now if you want to what? Injunct it, my interpretation, you are trying to what? Reverse what has been done. To reverse what has been done, Parliament must meet and make a decision. The very people who took the matter to the Supreme Court now, I also met Tenasi, now Speaker, and she said, okay, Supreme Court say, near me, no, Manyani, and she said, Sanetia, Nami taking decision, Musimun Tenasi. So, how then would the Speaker be able to take what? A decision? So, the best thing the Speaker will do is that the number now, you should share to take such decisions, you know. The number is not there. So, let's adjourn until we get the required number. CDA. And the Speaker took the wisest. And I must say that the decision the Speaker took, you know, was the balance.
Yeah.
He was in the middle.
Yeah.
We did not favor anybody.
Yeah.
Supreme Court says, I have not done well. Okay. For me to decide whether I have not done well, we have to look at it as parliament. We must sit. I will say, correct number now. Near Supreme Court ekano. A fambra kwanso yen diso anama yen diso. Muso a mudi assembly ekwa no. Musi mumbetenasi. You see, Adibakwa Memu say, Apenyo markings. Apenyo uti say, Apenyo is an even name.
Yes.
Apenyo means
yes,
a good house, a papa. But Apenyo is not living by his name. My senior, Apenyo marking. Because, you see, Okasa, because the identity of Mekasani say, anytime obey argument or radio TV Subiano, he's talking about his position as majority leader. What about government business? Must you be majority leader before government business proceeds?
Not majority leader. What is in it?
Lawyer, you see, in fact, se mu yo bi a mo dwene o man ne ho kra na. Se mo minority side kra na. Mo wo obi a who is in charge of government business. What you say? Yeah. On the majority, no, able to me decide. They say, yeah, babu table way. A lot of the things that happen at in Parliament, no, and yet throwing of way too. And yet negotiation and consultation. What you say? Into that inexperience, has been brought bravado and yamano. What not me say? Signatures here or pray
or suffer from this condition, delusion of grandeur.
Yo, some signatures me assure say Nanado and as someone was someone cottage your friend is saying because some things was happening in Parliament. Ye yeska ye pese ko ba ye ko bobosia ye pese ye the budget eba enade inti fie amukwa continue assembly na mo pese mo dibe
won say ye ba be ko election no na ye bomb pa ye be say erade. We want peace. We did not pray for a good leader. We pray for peace. So because God Nyankopon himself say be MPP and we need a di basa basa ebe bantino or my MPP we need here. But Nyankopon in his own wisdom, when we're going to elect speaker, you see, I read MPP for a press release beer making kind. There were a few points I've made here, and they refer to the speaker as what NDC sponsored Speaker of Parliament, forgetting that the speaker stood for election and he was elected by both sides and he won that election. This is an insult.
In fact, you are even more than
exactly others. Yes. And this is an insult to the speaker, the office of the speaker. And I think that the speaker should take them on.
Come here, you see, speaker no. Now, so we should not chamber ho. Speaker air drawn attention. What dear warrior also what's the saying? What's he saying?
No, number two, disrespectful. Now, almost sorry, they also they refer to the speaker. He said the speaker is NDC sponsored. Will it be right for an NDC member or NDC to write to say that the Supreme Court is MPP sponsored? Will it be right? NDC
yes.
They will say that
you
are insulting the Supreme Court. But Parliament has so much power. Look, we share arms of government now. We share the arms of government now. I could see, say, technically, Parliament is the only body which represents the people.
Everyone.
Parliament is the sovereign, holds the sovereignty of the people. What I say? The president is elected by the whole country. Now, president appoints ministers and all that. Even the Supreme Court justices are appointed. But speaker is what? Elected. Now, speaker is not vetted by anybody, but the Supreme Court justices are vetted by Parliament.
Okay.
And executives are vetted by what? Parliament.
Okay.
And you see, conclusion I draw on this matter is to say, sir, you shall be addressed by the way you dress.
Okay.
Say who frown to money here. Now, and see,
medase. Was that in the time of 2 minutes? Gun when there 3 minutes. NPP and my press conference. We are almost saying this. My documents be Nina say more plan a crime before summer by a fail. I don't know, sir.
In the first place, Yamao 7 years, 10 months. Went to me amfanya here. Obina oka na sem say ode friend and be post wakwa share with them the whole night. One yana here. Na ahimrachi or dress yakwa or say my main family baako. Order ho went to me amfam no. Yamamu 7 years, 10 months. Aka 2 months ena yen yedebema MPP fail. You already failed us. And per that declaration, say say omo fail no. It means say they are admitting say they are failures. Nemum my fan show mo say adiento omo fail yen nyina say yen ye mo fail ye. Impinifo an country say reja wa na dia so awo.
Unima sa also ntuma na how.
Also ntuma na how. You understand? Sebin prayer sir. Insure mo ase no mo ahunu nsuo wo Ghana nyina no. Sa 2 months yi na mo de ba be hunu ani. Ana mo de ba be tin nsuo nani. Enu nti na ye ha mo ana. Kwaye amwa kwakọ sim ase kwaye wo Ghana nyina no. Eye ndisi na edi mo kosi sa kwaye ni mo ana asesai. Sebe se anka unim woniema ehhehya anka onyina bebria embe country se ukeshire achia.
Okay.
Se ukeshire enchia ya for all this while no, as a government you must know ekwanya wo faso. Sebe yen ye pamo mo free parliament. Yen ye katre minority force mumpie. Because there is nothing useful. Omode eba. But because of their arrogance, you know, I'm about Jena has said, your friend is saying, and you see, on this opinion, Sanke document. Oh, Sanko, okay, now come with the atoa today. But any did what you say? Debbie, if you ambassador, Amano Hausa name be an answer, Yabemano, and one name be to be associated with us. It's after no more convenient. It's your best Ramos, and Mudrin, and also Dino Hoa. No matter answer a press conference for Namudi Ababe 2 because you see, you are inconsistent.
Yeah.
Even lying, Krano, it is difficult for you to present lies. Because Ankaube now come say this is the document NDC for aye say a strategic tool to your friend say baby amumedri momo bronye dene mo say your friend say so no ye humu say anamoko we don't need any extra strategy to kick you people out of power. You are just struggling through your friend say the next 2 months. There's nothing new. Mo president Okurano anka obobra papa anka baumia kono kodinechi kabaumia kono anka kachre nkrofo say bra papa me be boy no mo nhwe medwuma ne so na mo nto aba ema baumia say mempe wo me campaign mo. So what credibility do you have again?
Lawyer Minuaba share Minua Ayana MPP for the NDC is a lawless entity. Almost they don't, you see, you must respect each other. MPP, they don't respect anybody. Omojin say they are the best, they hold what it takes. But I see, Mrana Omo Ediku Etia NDC and Neno will come and bite them. The law, they used it to 2020. Omo, you see, we're against Formula MP, you know, and it is biting them. Yeah. Today they are crying. All that they are doing today. The question may be say, Peace Council, Peace Council, I don't want to hear that name. They are a bunch of hypocrites. Members of the Peace Council, and I'm saying it here. I am usually not a person who want to say anything against leadership, but for Peace Council, they are hypocrites. You said that I was West Ogun. Did they come to say anything? And why are those people? Mutiho, the piano NDC, unprintable names. Nobody speaks. Then they speak and say, oh, we are law abiding. So insulting your brother, calling somebody a lawless entity. If they are lawless, arrest them. Now, Speaker has declared, or he has adjourned the House CNDA. They should go to the Supreme Court to compel the Speaker to call the House back. Okay. Because that's what they know to do. Go back and they call the Speaker. Now, they always say that there's no parliamentary supremacy. We agree. Do we also have Supreme Court supremacy?
Yeah.
When we talk of we have constitutional supremacy, the Constitution is supreme. we have separation of powers.
Okay.
Parliament must be allowed to do its work. Supreme Court will be allowed to do its work. Executive, find your level. You see, with what is happening, you see, he who the gods will kill, they first make mad. I think that is what is happening to what? The MPP. They are in a state of insomnia, or they are in a state of hallucination.
Okay,
and thinking, say, I don't know. And I think it is clear, everything is showing on the wall that they're going to lose it. They should eat their humble pie and then allow us to rest.
Professor P.S. Yanto say yen lenke article 97.2 enka 97.1 J no ho na yebe say exonerated speaker no.
Some write up be amame I'll share after this program. Very sweet write up.
Prof yeda say of me of Kofi Asante wo dance ma akoko photo mechia wo ma me akua kese wo butuko nkoko mechia wo ne obusuafo ni nyira yede dwumadie na sim akogan eye pani abedi akira wo hwenkita odie eso de ma ND samayeko no lawyer David Wowi Brown wono so abemramu na odi ne dwuma wo Accra Technical University ena yete nka gan said de ohwe wo ze camera na capture Elizabeth Tegum osiesie
also de me
okosime Kevin Asante ki Nicholas Okechuku Mabuli Innocent omo ebo metidon ko feed the boy Francis ene Raf Jesse Peter omo eka hunyina omo ebo metidon medam nyina ase mohima ba ko pe ko man nyina gudie ladies them boss before say man and I must say menka medam nyina ase me service o hene babo amabene ene akua krantima omo de no siabem kasebo ebrem.